the audio, visual, the rapid fire nature of the images, we think it connects really not just cognitively, but deeply emotionally to a lot of people, I imagine. It struck us as a unique instance of white supremacist propaganda.
This 6-minute video, which has been circulating on social media and gaming platforms, is called The Last Battle. It shows the increasingly sophisticated methods that far-right groups are using to recruit new, younger members.
We don't know who it's sourced from, and we don't know how wide it is spread. As a broad swath of people can sort of latch on to at least some of it and say, well, I agreed with that at least, or that, but not all of this. They're opportunists. If they just get you a little bit, they feel like they've won the battle for the moment, and they'll keep trying to win the war.
As a sociology professor at the University of Nevada, Robert Futrell studies far-right and white supremacist movements.
We've been talking about how white supremacist culture has been shifting to some degree away from just pure ideological propaganda into really hammering a kind of a cognitive, emotional focus.
There are these images that are just normal snippets of television news, and then there are images that are extremely racist, and they're all presented on one platform that you're consuming it, in the same time period.
But you're supposed to think every image is racist. And you're supposed to think every image is about the United States, which is not clear to me, at least, either. I mean, a lot of those images are decontextualized. They're very rapid.
This is the same tactic the NSM used. Is we would find these videos or these horrific race crimes and things that were happening in like South Africa, but we would amplify those instances like, this is common, this is everywhere, this is happening all the time, the media's hiding it. It's pure propaganda in its clearest form, that it's not reality.
Jeff Scoop was a neo-Nazi for nearly 3 decades. For 25 years, he led the National Socialist Movement, one of the largest white supremacy groups in the country. Tell me a bit about how you guys used videos. What sort of things worked in early recruitment like this?
The National Socialist Movement was engaged in a lot of every kind of propaganda you could think of. Videos in specific are one of the greatest recruitment tools.
Scoop now runs an organization to get people out of extremist groups through de-radicalization. He says the main tool for recruitment videos like this is a focus in stoking fears.
Almost entirely what the movement believes is all fear-based. It's based on fear. It's just when you're in that hyper masculine environment, you're not going to go to your friend or the guy next to you, hey, I'm afraid of this. Nobody does that. And fear is a lot bigger motivator than hate.
Similar fear tactics are used in this piece of recruitment propaganda that splices a compilation of quick and unrelated images into categories to fit a narrative.
To somebody who's been researching this, the themes are quickly apparent. This notion of a war on our children.
They show rioting.
The notion of anti-white hate.
They show violence.
The Jewish communist takeover, opening the borders, coming for your guns, and that's a fear of government position.
And then towards the end, when they're showing white people,
what we're seeing is very clear white supremacist propaganda.
A mother and child walking through a field is very calm and nice looking.
White children at play and mothers in white.
That's the messaging that they're trying to use, is portraying the other side as being evil. This is pretty common in propaganda. The other side dehumanizes the other, and then your side, the side that you're trying to promote, is one of virtue. It's holy. It's something everyone should want. You see.
But I particularly think about teens and 20-something white males, especially the stuff at the end with the MMA images. That kind of thing, I think, is very effective. And again, this isn't something that was just put together on a whim. This is every image is very strategic.
I was curious your thoughts on extremist ideas becoming more mainstream, whether we're seeing that more and whether that concerns you.
extremist ideas have become more mainstream, and this is one of the biggest challenges that we're currently facing.
Ordinarily, we'd ignore all of this once you've been denounced as a white supremacist.
To the concern of researchers like Futrell, some of the same extremist messaging is being pushed on cable news shows.
I'm watching along. I hear his argument. I'm saying this is replacement theory. I mean, he might just well say it. He said it.
The Democratic Party is trying to replace the current electorate.
And then he said, I'm going to be painted as a white supremacist for saying it. I was like, you know.
I mean, everyone wants to make a racial issue out of it. Ooh, the white replacement theory. No.
He knows where that idea resonates, it seems to me, by making those statements.
What took place at the Capitol on January 6th is these extremist thinking and extremist ideologies seeping into the mainstream. It's not something that we've seen a lot of in the past. At the Capitol, the FBI and different law enforcement agencies were saying, that started picking this apart and saying, okay, it's not all white supremacists. There was just like regular Republicans and regular Sally soccer moms and Joe Sixpacks that weren't on nobody's radar, including the movement or the feds or anybody else, that all of a sudden were swept up in this stuff that wouldn't have been before.
Futrell says the broad range of topics in this video highlights the changing strategies of white supremacists. Agreeing with even a portion of this propaganda is seen as a victory to these extremist groups.
Their sense of how to get power and how to retain power and how to persist has shifted and become strategic in this way, moving what the acceptable discourse, political discourse is within a culture, and moving that more and more to the right, moving that more and more extreme. But once you're there, agreeing with any of it, they've got you in some way.